Ariana Grande has always been a figure of resilience, navigating the turbulent waters of fame with a voice that resonates both in her music and in her candid personal reflections. In a poignant moment shared across her social media platforms, she revisited a deeply personal conversation from the previous year, urging her vast audience to pause and reflect before uttering words that could inflict lasting emotional wounds. This wasn't merely a casual repost. It was a deliberate act of advocacy, layered with vulnerability and a call for collective empathy in an era where online scrutiny feels unrelenting and invasive. The essence of her message cut straight to the heart of a pervasive issue in celebrity culture: the casual cruelty of body-shaming comments that masquerade as concern or observation. Grande, known for her ethereal presence on stage and screen, has long been subjected to the microscope of public opinion. From her breakout days as a Nickelodeon sensation to her evolution into a global pop icon, her physical appearance has been dissected, debated, and diminished in ways that no one, famous or otherwise, should endure. In the resurfaced interview clip, her voice trembles with the weight of accumulated experiences, revealing not just the toll of fame but the universal sting of judgment tied to one's body. She begins by painting a vivid picture of her early entry into the public eye, a time when she was barely out of her teens, thrust into a world that treated her like an object of endless analysis. "I've been kind of doing this in front of the public and kind of been a specimen in a petri dish really since I was 16 or 17, she confesses, her words laced with a mix of wry humor and raw honesty. This metaphor of the petri dish is particularly evocative, evoking images of sterile observation, where every flaw is magnified under an unforgiving lens. It's a stark reminder that for young stars, the transition from adolescence to adulthood isn't just personal. It's performative, broadcast to millions who feel entitled to commentary. Grande elaborates on the cyclical nature of criticism, a vicious loop where no change satisfies the critics. Fix one perceived issue, and another critique emerges from the shadows. "I've heard every version of it, of what's wrong with me. And then you fix it and then it's wrong for different reasons," she explains. This isn't hyperbole. It's the lived reality of someone whose body has been both praised and pilloried across magazine covers, social media threads, and tabloid headlines. The simplest aspects of her appearance, hairstyle, weight, even posture, become fodder for speculation, often veering into territory that's not just unkind but profoundly misguided. What makes her reflection so compelling is how she bridges the gap between her celebrity status and everyday experiences. She acknowledges the armor one builds over time but emphasizes how difficult it is to shield oneself when the barbs start flying early and often. "It's hard to protect yourself from that noise when you're young and you're hearing all kinds of things," she admits, her tone shifting to one of quiet empathy. This vulnerability humanizes her, transforming her from an untouchable star into a relatable figure who's wrestled with the same insecurities many face at family gatherings or in school hallways. She extends this insight beyond the red carpet, drawing parallels to mundane social interactions that underscore the broader societal malaise. Imagine, she posits, arriving at a Thanksgiving dinner, a supposed haven of warmth and gratitude, only to be met with an offhand remark from a well-meaning relative: "Oh my God, you look skinnier. What happened?" Or the flip side: "You look heavier. What happened?" These comments, delivered with the innocence of curiosity, land like subtle daggers, probing into private battles without invitation. Grande's point is crystal clear. In a culture obsessed with appearances, such observations have become normalized, but they erode self-worth and foster unnecessary anxiety. Her critique deepens as she challenges the false comfort we derive from voicing judgments on others' looks, health, or personal choices. "I think in today's society, there is a comfortability that we shouldn't have at all, commenting on others' looks, appearance, what they think is going on behind the scenes, or health, or how they present themselves," she asserts. This statement serves as a manifesto against the entitlement that social media amplifies, where anonymity emboldens users to speculate wildly about someone's well-being based on a filtered photo or a fleeting video clip. Grande isn't preaching from a pedestal. She's advocating for a shift in how we engage, reminding us that behind every image is a person navigating complex realities far removed from our assumptions. This isn't the first time she's taken a stand on this front. A couple of years prior, in a moment of unfiltered passion, Grande had already laid bare the myths surrounding her own body journey. She dismantled the narrative that equated thinness with health, revealing a chapter of her life marked by struggle rather than success. "The body that you've been comparing my current body to was the unhealthiest version of my body," she disclosed, her words carrying the gravity of someone who stared down personal demons. At that time she was grappling with the side effects of antidepressants, compounded by poor eating habits and excessive drinking. A cocktail of coping mechanisms in the wake of profound loss and pressure. That period, she clarifies, represented her nadir, not some aspirational ideal. I was on a lot of antidepressants and drinking on them and eating poorly, at the lowest point of my life when I looked the way you consider my healthy, but that in fact wasn't my healthy. It's a revelation that flips the script on societal standards, exposing how we romanticize fragility while ignoring the underlying turmoil. Grande's candor here is revolutionary. By sharing these intimate details, she normalizes conversations about mental health, addiction, and recovery in an industry that often glamorizes perfection.